Strinova is now out on Steam, and I therefore thought we would talk about it and see if Strinova is an anime shooter worth playing. Yes, Strinova is a free-to-play anime shooter, and it was developed and published by iDreamSky. Strinova was recently released on the 22nd of November on PC, and it will be released in 2025 for PS5, Xbox Series, iOS, and Android. Strinova is a pretty fast-paced anime-style shooter that I stumbled upon some time ago when it was still in an ongoing playtest. I got into the playtest and I enjoyed myself, since Strinova has some features that we don't see that often in shooter games. Well, first off, I would define Strinova as a third-person shooter per definition, but when you aim down sight, you'll get into first-person mode. I think this might be appealing for many players, especially those that might hesitate when it comes to start playing a third-person shooter. So what's special then when it comes to this game? Well, all these anime characters can go from being 3D to 2D, which basically means that your character becomes paper thin, which serves a few purposes. First off, you can make it harder for enemies to hit you when you're 2D or paper thin. And second, you can squeeze yourself through narrow spaces on the map. And third, you can glide or hang glide, if you will, which makes it possible for you to reach some higher ground on the map, which can be beneficial from a tactical point of view. You can also attach to certain surfaces, if you will. For example, you can climb up certain walls by being paper thin. You can also attach yourself to the actual payload, as you see here. It's one of the game modes, which can also be a bit of a tactical thing. Run around attached to the actual payload makes it harder for the enemies to see you or shoot you. I come from a background of playing a lot of different shooters, although I haven't played many anime shooters before, and to be honest, I'm not that interested in anime either. At least not a lot. But maybe that doesn't really matter, since Strinova for me is a fun and good alternative to other shooters that I'm currently playing. So with that said, it felt nice to see and to start unlocking these anime characters again, since there's quite a lot of nice customization options in the game, both when it comes to what they're wearing when it comes to the agents, but also weapon skins. Since Strinova is now released, the first season has also started, which is called Scarlet Awakening. There seems to be 2 new superstring agents added, Eika and Fragrance, and a new map available as well that is called Cosmite. Since Strinova is free to play, there has to be some way for the developers to actually make some money out of it, and here's where Battle Pass and skins comes into play. However, you can also earn rewards and skins by playing the game, and if it's still the same as it was in the beta, it doesn't take too long to unlock stuff. Strinova's Oath system is one of the first things you'll see when you start playing Strinova. It's actually in the main menu already, and you can interact with Celeste. You can give her gifts, which will increase her Oath level, and in return you'll get rewards such as skins for weapons and player cards, and you'll also unlock new chapters in her story. Might also be of interest to know that voice actors or voice acting in Strinova across the game supports English, Japanese and Chinese languages. Yes, Strinova has a wide variety of available skins, some attainable through playing, others through a direct purchase, and a specific select few via the game's gacha mechanics. Now, gacha comes from the Japanese word gachapon. Gacha games are a type of mobile game that involve players spending in-game currency or real money to obtain random virtual items, characters, equipments, or units through a virtual lottery or vending machine, if you will. And it can be in the form of randomized rewards called gachapons or loot boxes. Now, skins that are an upfront payment, though, in the game, meaning here in Strinova, range from $20 to $30. Strinova has 3 currencies in the game: Bablu crystals, dream tokens, and base string. The crystals are your paid monies, and I believe the dream tokens are used to unlock agents and some skins. And the strings are granted upon receiving dupes in the gacha system. The Battle Pass can be bought without these currencies for a cost of $10, and the Season Pass that will launch with the game has 2 skins that can be earned. That's the basic of the monetization system in the game, if you will, so let's leave that behind now and talk about the actual gameplay. I've already talked about the movement or ability, if you will, to go paper thin, something that is both fun to use, but it can also be used in gunfights to make you harder to hit or simply flee a situation where you have been overpowered by too many players from the enemy team or teams. The gunplay is pretty straightforward, and the different weapons are locked to certain characters, meaning the agents, so the actual loadouts are already fixed to the agents that you choose to play. I believe this works well in Strinova, and the weapon balance so far seems to be pretty good as well. Since the game was recently released, there aren't like a ton of feedback yet when it comes to the game, although I see that the reviews on Steam are mixed so far. I believe one of the things that players has complained about is the fact that the developers choose to make the game region locked, which basically means that you can't play, for example, on a North America server if you, like me, live in the EU. If I remember correctly, this wasn't the case in the playtest or beta, since it seemed to be a mix of players and nationalities, meaning continents also back then. I don't mind the region lock that much, but again, I do know that there's players that would prefer to see that it wasn't a thing in Strinova. What do you think about that? Strinova features a ranked demolition mode alongside with several casual modes such as demolition, escort, team deathmatch and team arena. When you start to play Strinova, you can though only play team deathmatch at first, which is 7 versus 7. But after you have unlocked a few ranks, ranking up that is, you can then get into escort, which is an escort a payload kind of game mode, and team arena, a game mode that I personally like quite some, where there's 3 teams of 3 players in each team. And it played out pretty well on these maps that are quite large when it comes to the design. I haven't been able to play Demolition yet, but I will, and I'm also looking forward to see what kind of game modes they choose to add to Strinova in a nearby future. Especially since the game will expand in 2025 when it also will be released on console and mobile devices as mentioned earlier. But is Strinova worth playing, meaning worth your time? Well, I think so. I believe that there's most likely other gamers like me out there that will appreciate this game if they just give it a chance and a try. The mix of 2D and 3D paper-thin gameplay, game modes that I at least enjoy to play, a lot of fun and good-looking customization options that you can unlock and equip, sharp and nice-looking anime graphics makes it worthwhile to invest some hours into Strinova. Will it stand the test of time, meaning the competition out there? We do know how hard it is to gain some space in a somewhat saturated genre. That is to be seen, of course, since time will tell if Strinova manages to keep its player base engaged over time, but at the same time also attract new players into the game. I guess we'll see how the trend goes with this game within like 3 to 6 months from now. I hope the developers have a solid and well thought through roadmap for Strinova, since I want to be able to play this game now and then in the long run. With that said, to wrap things up, yes, I have enjoyed my time so far when it comes to Strinova. I was pulled into the game, if you will, when it comes to the playtest before the release, and I'm not disappointed either when it comes to the actual release so far. Are there flaws in the game? Well, that is to be found. I haven't played enough hours to just find more than the ones I've just talked about, or the one I talked about when it comes to the game being region locked. If that's a no-no for you, well then, sorry to hear that. But try the game, let me know what you think, and of course share your thoughts in the comments. With that said, thanks a lot for watching my Strinova video. I hope you got some info and some feel for the game, and as said also earlier, I hope you want to try it out yourself. If you already have, as mentioned, give some feedback, and also if you want to see more from me, don't forget to subscribe. It's free here on YouTube and I post a few videos a week, so I hope to talk to you soon again in an upcoming video. Thanks again, take care and have a great day. That was all for today. Later.
Weapons enhancement activated. You stop right there! One more kill to win. Recover your strength. Victory!